name is LaDair, and am I excited today because finally I've got something to show you photographers that you haven't seen before. Something you can market to your customers that you haven't been able to do before. And no learning curve, you're already taking the photos already. It is so exciting. I mean, you know you are marketing regular prints, you're marketing large prints, you're marketing wall prints, you can put canvas out there, you can put them on metal now. There's a whole bunch of products that you can offer your clients. The problem always is, how do they see them? Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna go out and put a big canvas, 16 by 20 canvas on my back and carry it around with me. The problem is people buy when they see it and they're hot right then. Well, some of you know and some of you don't. I do 3D photography and 3D graphics. Now the thing is, we're talking the 3D lenticular. We're not talking 3D programs that create 3D. 3D lenticular, that you can see a 3D image without any glasses. Well, traditionally, what I had to do was create a 3D that looked just like your photos. It was a picture in a frame, or I could put it on, I had a really cool box, a jewelry box I could put the top. It was very, very cool. But all of this stuff, people had to see it. Now, I've done a lot of shows. In fact, car shows are my favorite because the car people love to have their car photographed. They've spent thousands of dollars and they've photographed it everywhere that they possibly can think of. And they've had a few people put in new backgrounds for them. But I would go to the shows, take the car photo, take it out of the show, make the windows clear, take off the people's elbows and paperwork that was on the windows, and put it in a location that they could never put their car. For example, a ghost town in Bodie, California, or down in San Diego, put it on a cliff in La Jolla, or on the beach, places they couldn't put their car. And they loved it. In fact, the #1 thing they always told me was, wow, finally something different. I love 3D, and everybody that sees it loves the 3D. I've simplified the process for all you photographers. You do not have to learn how to do it. What is one thing that people carry with them all the time? Their cell phones. And that's what I found. A while back I found some cases, some cell phone cases. I found iPhone 5, 4, Samsung 3, 4, and a Note. Now these cases were custom made to have inserts put in them. I looked at it and said, why can't I put 3D inserts in them? I did it, I tested it, I showed it, and the people went crazy. Even if they're not showing it, they're showing it. Think of the businesses. It's like a little mini billboard. I just did one for a pizza shop. 3Ds, he's sitting on the pizza throwing out the pepperonis. Okay, the pepperonis are in 3D. The point is, I can now offer you and your customers 3D, and all you have to do is carry your phone with you, and you can show them. Now this is a dummy iPhone. Not everybody in the world, contrary to what Apple thinks, has an iPhone. And of course Samsung is right on their butt. So this is, if you don't have one of the phones that it fits, get a dummy phone from me. That way you can have it with you all the time. But as you can see, this is a car show, and that's the couple. They wanted to be in it, and a surfboard, and they wanted a beach picture. The photographer who took this, it wasn't me, could not do that in real time. He could not go, let's go to the beach, put a surfboard in the sand, you guys stand over here and let's get 3D. He sent me the background, he sent me the Woody, he sent me them, and he sent me the surfboard. Now, he had some skills on editing enough that he cut out the Woody. I cleaned up the window so it looks like you can see right through it. He cut out the people, cut out the surfboard. So on my end, a lot of the work was already done. And if you're doing car shows, I really highly recommend that you do it that way. The other thing is weddings. Let me show you a Samsung here. Wedding shop, okay? if you take a wedding shot, take a picture of the chapel or where they're getting married with nobody in it. Then take them aside and get one shot that we can easily cut out. Take a picture of the bouquet or the rings or anything creative, and you've got 3D. Now, these will be a little hard to see on video since we're looking at a 2D video, not a 3D video. This particular case is transparent, so you can still see the phone and everything through it. Now, most of these white and black, but in this case it's transparent. But you talk about a happy couple, and the beauty of it is it's not permanent. So when they get tired of this wedding photo, and they will, or if they get divorced, you know the first thing to go is the photos, right? When they get rid of this, guess what? They're going to want another photo. And if you see it in person, you will also go, wow, my customers will buy that like crazy. And the thing is, you're already taking the photo. So why not offer them another product? You don't even have to push it hard. You just have to pull out your phone and see, here's a new product we just came out with. 3D on your phone case. I mean, think of the possibilities. Here's another car shot, okay, on La Jolla, on a cliff. Now, how's he going to get his car up there? Okay, we can be creative and work with you on a number of things. But another big area, pets. Okay, this is Evie. Now, Evie wasn't at the beach. There wasn't no seagulls around. But this is what happens. And the pet lovers, do they like this? Oh my word. Talking about an easy sale, because you simply show it, you simply have it. And the beauty is, they have it with them all the time. So they're on the phone going, yeah. Somebody says, wow, that's your car? What? That 3D? You will have so many referrals from people seeing this, it will be unbelievable. I just want to show you some of the ones that I've worked on. These are the inserts. Okay, this is what they look like when they're inserted. These are all for the iPhone 5, which is obviously one of the more popular ones. So, Camaro, underneath the San Francisco Bridge. Where are you going to get that shot at? So, we will work with you to make whatever the customer wants. So, what this? Another Woody. Why 2 Woodies? Because they saw the other one and they wanted one. Now that flower in the right hand corner is an Hawaiian flower, and the Woodies relate to Hawaii, so they wanted that flower in there. Yes, I like cars. Went to a car show. This person has it already for a iPhone 4. And as you can see, the picture was shot at the car show. You can't even tell it was shot at the car show. He's from Las Vegas, wanted to put that in there. And I'm hoping you can see somewhat of the 3D. These are very small when compared to a regular size picture. But anyway, it's got great 3D. He absolutely went crazy over it, loved it. Sometimes you may just want to do art. This is a picture of a butterfly I shot years ago in Alabama. And you can see, I cut out that butterfly, I did a 3D effect to it, and it is absolutely, when you put it in the case, just gorgeous. I mean, some people might even consider doing, special art projects like this, where it's a limited edition. Anyway, very, very nice. Remember I was telling you about the one I did for the pizza place? Well, look at this. See, you can see the pepperonis are coming out. I took a picture of the pizza. I took a picture of him sitting on a bench. Put him on the pizza. Actually, the pepperonis, I hung them on some fish line, spun them around, took various pictures of them spinning. And that's how I got this effect. But boy, does it make a nice 3D effect. A little creativity, and you've got a really, really nice showpiece. Okay, one of the questions, they said if I wore a coat, I'd look thinner. I don't know. I am what I am, and 3D is what I am. So, one of the things I wanted to talk to you about was a question that will come up. how do you get involved with this without spending a ton of money and being able to market it to your customers right there on the spot. There are some things you should know when you're submitting something for a 3D photo, but I'm going to put those on a web page, and this is where you can go to get all the details on the tricks of the trade in 3D. In other words, like I said with the car shows, you take a picture of the car, what angle should you take it at? What background do you want? I have a list of 15 or 16 already pre-done 3D backgrounds that, like the San Francisco Bridge, the Bodie Ghost Town. In fact, if you go, I will put a link on the page where you can go and see the different backgrounds. We're going to keep adding more and more. But don't just think cars. One of them you'll see is a wedding photo where they're standing on the cliff overlooking La Jolla. Yeah, and they loved it. They put it on a jewelry box. It was gorgeous. All in 3D. So you can use the ones that are already there, or if you have an idea and you want to send one, and they say, this is my old grandfather's farm, we can put that in there too. Now there is a few things you have to do with 2D photos that you want converted to 3D. And if you know editing, you'll know what I'm talking about when they say you have to extract the 3D part of it, which you want to come forward, so I have control over it. So there's a little more work, and if it's not too complicated, then I will do it. Here's a good example of one that is just a 2D to 3D conversion. There's a hole there. I have to fill in that hole. And you all know with editing how fun it is to clone that hole. I have found a shortcut though. After 9 years of doing 3D, I've found a lot of shortcuts. So anyway, go to this web page right here, and that will give you information on the do's and don'ts of submitting a photo to be made into 3D for the case. The other question is, how much? Okay, the cases themselves to you are at a wholesale price. I don't care what you sell it for. The thing is, it's the content. You know, anybody can go shoot a snapshot, go have an 8x10 made for less than $2. So why do some photographers get 20, 40 for that same 8x10? First, it's the quality and the creativity, the lighting, and all that stuff we are familiar with. But with 3D, it is something that the labs cannot do. The labs cannot do 3D because their machines are automated. And it adds 1 to 3% onto the size of that photo as it goes through the developing machine. That 1 to 3% totally throws off the 3D. So I've talked to labs. They would love to do it, but they cannot calibrate the machines to do 1 or 2 pictures out of a, here comes 100, let's do 2 3Ds. Here comes another 100, 5 3Ds. They can't do that. So this is a one-of-a-kind, only available through me as far as I know. You know, I'm sure there will be other people saying, well, can I put just a regular picture in here? No, it will totally fall apart on you. This lens is tough and it's firm. It isn't going to tear, or you can put water on it. It's not going to get wet because it is a plastic lenticular lens over the top of it. Not saying that water won't get in here if you've dropped it in the sink, but the bottom line is this is really a unique product, and it's the first time we could put the lenticular 3D into a phone case. So the wholesale price, instead of me telling you, I will post it on the webpage. I think it's reasonable. You may not. But then again, it's free money. Okay? If you can make 100% or 80% profit, and basically you're only taking the same photo you were going to take anyway. It's like money hanging from a tree. If you're a wedding photographer, you're already doing that wedding shot I showed you. If you are a car photographer going out to the weekend, you got your phone with you. Now what you choose to put on your phone will make somewhat of a difference. But there again, we will give you a special price after you get the case and inserts. If you say, look, I want 3 inserts, 1 for wedding, 1 for cars, and 1 for pets. okay, so that I can change them out. If you're going to a pet show, change the pets. If you're going to a car show, change. If you're doing weddings, do the wedding. Doing senior portraits, whatever you're doing, if you want to have more than one, that's the beauty of the system. You can have these and put them in and insert them, and the people can relate to it. It makes sense? I hope so. So, what does it take to become a distributor? You got to buy one sample. You got to show it to them. People cannot, I don't care how good your verbal skills are, you cannot explain it to them. You have to show it to them. So you've got to spend the money to get one sample. That's your entire, and you've got a nice iPhone case or Samsung. Obviously not everybody has one of those phones. So you can get a display phone. For $12 you can get a dummy phone. So if you don't have the iPhone or the Samsung or whichever one you want to have for a display, just order a dummy phone and the photo. And then you're set to go. You're done. There is no more expense to you. You collect the money, I make the product, you give it to the customer and try to sell them something else. Sounds like a win-win. So anyway, I hope to hear from you. Thank you.